Hi guys, and welcome back to the vlog. Sorry, there was a little time between the last one and this one, but this one's going to be really good for a whole bunch of reasons. Today we're going to be talking about what nobody talked about in both my books, in movie scripts that were made about me. All of that stuff was all about me as a confidential informant. And I've gotten a couple of questions about what caused me to be a confidential informant, how that happened, and how it continued for 3 decades. Um, so I was able to be a confidential informant because I was around all the right people, which really means all the wrong people, all the bad guys, and because I was a criminal. I was a criminal. I started my life of crime by stealing cars because I was addicted to fast cars. And I would steal a car. I'd buy a car. I'd blow it up. I'd steal another one just like it for parts. And of course, that was noticed by members of organized crime where I lived in Astoria, Queens. And so Hollywood or the book publishers didn't want to put that part in because they wanted to make me appear as a sympathetic character. Sympathetic character. I don't know what that even means, but I'm going to tell you in this video how I infiltrated the Lucchese crime family and how I was the kid of Joey Brocchini Brocchini. I'm going to spell it Brocchini. That name, he went by the street name of Joey Bikini. And he was a made man, no joke. And there's his picture right there. And I loved that guy. I loved him. I loved the way he took care of me. And we're gonna talk about what I did. See, let's back up. All gangsters have a kid. They all have a kid that runs errands for them, that does petty any thievery, that does all the little crimes for them, that wash their cars, just like in Goodfellas. Goodfellas did it right. Because there was a kid in there, he went to jail, he didn't snitch, he came out, it was just like me. It was just like me. And I'm going to tell you how it started. So, I got arrested back in 1971 for stolen cars, and they quickly found out that I was the wheelman for the Brocchini brothers. Not to be confused with them. I'm so bad. I apologize to all my Italian viewers and friends out there. Oh, I just can't pronounce your guys' names worth of crap. And apparently nobody could pronounce Joey's name right. There it is again. There he is. See his name? Right either. That's why they shortened it to Bikini. Joe Bikini. Who is no longer with us. God bless his soul. May he rest in peace forever. What a great guy he was. So I'm going to tell you how I did it. So everybody knew that I got locked up for stolen cars. I forget exactly what it is. It's all in this book here. I get locked up, and they find out, the FBI, the DA of the Bronx, Burton Roberts at the time, a real SOB. I hated that guy. And they're putting me under pressure to give up these two guys. They knew who they were, and they robbed like, I think, 14 banks, and I robbed a lot, and I was the wheelman for most of them. So anyway, I get locked up. They don't even give me bail. No bail. No bail. They said I'm crazy. They remanded me for mental observation, MO, mental observation, and they sent me to Bellevue. That's what they did. Then I went to Rikers Island Hospital. That was their way to keep me in and keep the pressure on. And all the mob guys out there knew it, especially the Bikini brothers. Not to be confused with Joe Bikini, not to be confused. But Joey knew these clowns. He knew them from the neighborhood. And so I didn't snitch, and I was arrested for 4 stolen cars. It was my first offense. I was 17 years old, so I didn't snitch. I really didn't think I needed to, because I'm thinking 4 stolen cars, no previous criminal history before that. I'm going home. That's what I'm thinking. But they made an example out of me, and they gave me 4 years in prison. That's what they did. And then those two mutts didn't. When you go to jail and and when you're connected to people, I mean, the thing is, the first thing they got to do is take care of your wife, your children, or in my case, my mom, who had nothing. Who had to make that trip to Rikers Island, get on that bus, go over that bridge, that zoo. Terrible, terrible. And those two mutts never gave my mother not one penny. Then I went upstate to Elmira, to Greenhaven, to Sing Sing, to West Coxsackie Correctional Facility. And she had us from New York City get a way to get up there, put money on my book. Not a penny did those guys give me. So anyway, so now I come out. Just like in the movie Goodfellas. I come out and boom, I get picked up at my father's house in the Bronx, and they're taking me to Queens in an Eldorado. It was a brand new Eldorado. And I was like, whoa. And they will go, kid, you didn't snitch. They love that. They loved it. They loved the fact I didn't snitch. But you know what? After doing all that time, I wish I would have snitched after I found out they didn't help my mother. And I kept asking my mother, are they taking care of you? She goes, yes, because she didn't want to get me mad. She lied for them. And then when I got out, I found out they didn't give her a dime. Remember that. So now I wind up working for Joey Brocchini. He had a body shop before he had his car dealership. And there was a guy that worked in the back there. He was an iron worker. At the time, Joey was building this beautiful mansion in Westchester County, and he wanted every one of his bedrooms, with a color TV. Now, we're talking about 1974, when having a color TV in every room was a big deal. It was a big deal. And so what this guy did, we used to call him Minsky. He was a Polish guy or a Hungarian or something like that. Big guy. And his little side job was he would rent hotel rooms all over the metropolitan area, as far as New York, New Jersey, and even Pennsylvania, which I got arrested in Philadelphia with. So his face was burnt, so he needed a new face to go in to rent a room. And then we would cut the alarm off the back of the TV, wrap it up in a drape, and use the cord from the drape to make a handle and walk out. So anyway, me and Minsky wound up stealing TVs and selling them to Joey for like really cheap. And we would go up to his house with the TV and put one of those TVs. It was an XL100 RCA color TV. Wow, that was the bomb back in 74. And Joey had a color TV in every one of his houses, thanks to me. So me and Joey, I became like his kid. He would ask me to run errands. And now he left the pornographic business. He was trying to get into the car business because he had a lot of trouble. And you guys can look him up, and So anyway, I'm working for Joey, and we became really good friends. And there was this guy by the name of Roy DeMeo, who was not a hitman. He was a serial killer. He was just a murderer. But Joey was a made man. Roy wasn't. Joey was no joke. And he was about, I think, 5'10", bald. And I used to have I had a good head of hair. And he didn't, because look at the picture. He didn't. Yeah, he used to mess up my hair all the time. Give me a slap. Pow! Pow! Hey, kid, you doing it? Pow! And he would fucking crock me. What the fuck did he keep crocking me for? So anyway, his gumad. I hope I'm pronouncing that word right, all you Italian guys out there. Gumad. Every mob guy's got a gumad. Even though Joey had a wife and family up in Westchester, he had his gumad. So one day, he picks up his gumad's keys. And we went to move the car, and he sees an extra house key, like a house key, and he puts them together with his, and they don't match. So he asks me, "What are you doing with this? Whose key does this belong to?" And so there was a big fight, and she tells him. So that girl used to date. Again, I'm going to make an Italian. How did Italian? Like an Italian stallion, like Sly Stallone. So this guy was good looking. Her ex-boyfriend was good looking, and he had a big head of hair. Oh, that guy was beautiful, and he would dress. He was a real sharp dresser, and he had a waterbed. Now back then, waterbeds were the thing. You know, that it was a big. Come on up to my house. I got a waterbed, honey, and they would go, oh, and actually. I have had sex on a waterbed, and it sucks. It's not anything but what they claimed it to be. So anyway, so she tells him that it's his key. What are you still having his key for? And meanwhile, the girl, I think, broke up with him over a year, but that set Joey off. And you don't want to set Joey off. So it sets him off. He's all pissed off. And because Joey knew the guy, not like personally, but he knew of him. He's seen him. He was the guy that gets all the women because of his looks, and where Joey got all the women because of who he was and how much money he had. And Joey was very generous. I loved him. God bless your soul, Joey. I just thinking about what happened to him. So anyway, he goes, he's pissed off. I come into the office in a body shop. This is before he had the used car dealer, Parliament, it was called. Why was it called Parliament? Because that was the brand of cigarettes he smoked. He made got a used car lot in Roosevelt Avenue in Woodside, Queens. So anyway, I don't know why I said that. So anyway, now he's pissed off. He's pissed off at this guy. He doesn't want to kill him. But, so this is what he tells me. No, I remember. He calls me up and says, come into the office right away. Right now. I want you here in 20 minutes. I want you here now. I said, well, I'm 40 minutes away. I'm in the city. I got to go all the way to South Jamaica, Queens. So anyway, I show up. He's all pissed off. And he's got a bottle of bleach, gallon of bleach. And he's got $500. Gallon of bleach and $500. And that key he took off his girlfriend. Now, this guy lived in Howard Beach, Queens. This guy was not a mafia guy, but he was a good-looking Italian guy. He got all the women. He had all the fancy clothes, and he used to sell weed. But he had a real job, 9-to-5 job. So he goes, hey, I want you to do. You think you can do this? You think you can do this? And I said, what? What do you want me to do? What's going on? Calm down. What? I never seen him like this. He was in a fucking rage. He was in a friggin' rage. He goes, here's a bottle of bleach. Here's $500. Here's an address. I want you to go there. This guy has a 9-to-5 job. It was a 2-family house in Howard Beach. His apartment was like it was a garage. It was down a driveway, and it was a garage that was converted into an apartment, a studio apartment. And he goes, I want you to go there. I want you to unlock the door. I want you to go in there. I want you to knife the waterbed that he screwed my girlfriend in. I want you to knife that. Then I want you to take all his fancy clothes, put them in a bathtub, and pour this bleach all over it. That's what I want you to do. It's $500. So it gives me the address. So I go, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go over there and check the place out and see if the information is right. So I go there the next day. The stud, he comes out, gets into his Eldorado, and he pulls off. 5 minutes later, the owner, he pulls off and leaves. So now I go, wow, this is exactly what he said it was. So I didn't do anything then. So now I'm thinking, how can I enhance his plan? And this is what made me the kid of a made man in the Lucchese crime family. So I called him up. I says, okay, listen, I'm going to come back tomorrow morning. We're going to do it tomorrow morning. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take my gallon of bleach, which was a real stupid idea. I don't know where he came up with that. And he actually had the gallon of Clorox bleach. But I didn't like that story. So I call a friend of mine. He already gave me 500. This is 1974, 500. So that's like maybe 2,500, 3 grand of today's money. So I get my friend. I go, no, we're not going to do this. This is too easy. So this 2-family house was on a dead end street in Howard Beach, and I rented a U-Haul. I backed it down the driveway, which was his house, and unlocked the door. It worked. Everybody left. And me and my friend moved that guy out. We moved him. I mean, it was a studio. It was the bed. It wasn't that much stuff, but he had a lot of clothes. He had a lot of other property. I took everything out of there. Everything out. And then I took the knife and I cut the bed. And it wouldn't leak because it was in a frame and I couldn't get it to the side. So anyway, I knifed it and then I jump on it. And I'm jumping on it to get the water out. And then finally the seam broke and the bedroom was on an elevated platform and all the water hit the rugs. And then I turned on the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink, and the tub. Let everything run. So then what did I do? So then while we're robbing the place, one of his girlfriends calls, and I picked up the phone. Hey, how you doing? And I forget the guy's name, Joey or whatever. Oh, Joey's not here. Joey lent me the keys. I'm with my girlfriend. And, okay. And he loved this part of the story. Oh, I'm sorry to bother you guys. Go ahead. And I hang up. I know that got back to him. I know it got back to him. So anyway, I moved him out. All his furniture, his dresser, I got 4 bags of pot, got everything. Now, Joey doesn't know I did this. All he wanted me to do was cut the mattress and pour bleach all over his clothes. So I took all of his clothes. I took everything, and I left the water on. And now I take it from Howard Beach, Queens to South Jamaica. I'm in the truck. And at that time, Joey was being watched. So I pull up with the truck. My friend's in the truck. Joey has $1,020 in his pocket. He had 10 $100 bills and a $20 bill. So I go in and he goes, Did you do it? Yeah, I did it. Come on outside. He goes, Did you do it? Yes, I did it. Come on outside. I want to show you something. So we're walking in the middle of the street. He sees the U-Haul there and he stops in the middle of the street and he's just getting mad because he's thinking, what did I do? What the hell did I do? So I keep going and I roll up the door. And he's looking and he goes, and now he's really getting mad. This wasn't what he told me to do. This is better, but this is not. And he said, what are you trying to pull? He thinks I'm setting him up. I don't know what's going through his mind. So I go, no, Joey, listen, I thought this would be a better idea. I moved him out. And he goes, what? So I had all the guys' clothes at the back of the truck. So he looks at the back of the truck and he recognizes the truck. And I says, I moved them out, Joey. I got all the stuff. What about the bed? I cut it. I go, are you sure you got it? I said, look at me. Look at my legs. So from the knees down, my shoes were soaking wet. No, it's done. Believe. And he's looking, he's recognizing, he goes up to the truck and he pulls out this vest. And he goes, oh my kid. Oh, and of course I got a crack. And he messed my hair up. I've had a complex ever since that. He messes my hair, cracks me, and he goes, oh, and he's hugging me in the street. Oh, you know the way Italians are. He's grabbing my cheeks. Like, what the fuck? Oh, when either he was pissed off at me, or no matter what, I left Joey Bikini's shop. I left the meeting with red cheeks. I probably got him now. So he goes, bring it in. So he had a shop that wasn't really a body shop. It was a warehouse that had 2 docking areas, 2 or 3. There was 3 docking areas that you could back a truck and tractor trailer, because he was also hijacking trucks at JFK. That's why he had that property there, and so he backs it in. He's moving all the stuff, and he goes, "I can't believe you did that. I can't." So okay. So then let me back up. So now the $500 he gave me, that was supposed to be it, right? So he's hugging me, he's beating me up. He reaches into his pocket and he takes $20 out of his roll, and he handed me the rest, which was $1,000, so $1,500. I got it, and he loved that story. And of course, the very next day, he calls me up and he tells me, "Oh, everybody's talking about what you did. They couldn't believe that I moved the whole guy's apartment out, and then I flooded the whole apartment, so that when he came home, he couldn't even sleep on the floor. There was nowhere for him to everything. The bedroom was flooded from the waterbed, and the living room area was, and he had that shag carpet from the 70s. It was all. So from that point on, I was like a made kid, like no matter what he wanted me to do, I did it. I did it better. And of course, me having not snitched on anybody, he felt confident enough. Like I said, I went to his house up in Westchester. And in my next video, we're going to tell you what happened to Joey Brocchini. I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. I know it was a little all over the place, but that's what happens sometimes with me. And if you guys haven't subscribed and pushed the like button, please do. Me and my staff, we work very hard to produce this kind of content that you're not going to get anyplace else. So thank you guys, and God bless.